How y'all doing? Hope everything's okay. I'm gonna check my volume. Now I'm obsessive about it, right? And it is looking good. Oh, and my son always says to me, you should always say at the end of the thing, subscribe. I never think to do that. So I'm asking you to do now, and I'm gonna promise you I'm gonna do better on my. I think my playlist is stupid. If you don't know what it is I do and talk about, my playlists aren't going to help you. So what I'm going to do is one of my sons says you can have an explainer of each playlist, and then I might have playlists that aren't about me, but playlists are about. And yes, this is my favorite shirt filled with. Now I really feel good about having these shirts because I'm in here with glue and all this kind of stuff, and I can just look a mess and feel real happy about it. But anyway, I'm going to do things like different kind of emotionals, like a widow's thing, and then an emotion for young ladies. So you could do more by just playlists based upon whatever crazy mess is happening in my head that day. That may not be something you want to do. Or, you know what I mean? I may not, and if all of my advice is woven into a whole bunch of yim yam and ballywham that I'm talking about in my own personal life, and I have a lot of yim yam and ballywham in my personal life, so I'm not going to do that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's going to take me a minute, but I'm going to try to figure that out. So there you go. Now, number one, first thing you got to do, first thing I did this morning, well, first thing I did this morning was some really good things. I had three things I really, really didn't want to do. And I did them in the morning. And one of them, I thought I had to go somewhere to do it. And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Come to find out you can do it online. You can do everything online. I should write that down somewhere for myself. You can probably do it online. I remember when my mother was, things they were starting to do things online before she died, and she was like, look, I'm just trying to pay a bill. You can go, I don't have online. I don't know anything about it. Can I just put a check in the mail? She said she was so upset about it. She had to go to bed after she got done because of it. She was just, I'm late to the curve. We're 65. She was in her 80s, and they were talking, and she was living alone because she was fine and cool and everything. But anyway, I felt bad for her. But yeah, you got to give us some grace. Don't know how I got there, but let me go from there to here. After I did those wonderful things this morning, and that is one of my biggest rules. Always, if you can, get rid of the things you don't want to do first as soon as you can do it. Because not only does it get it out of your way, it's psychic relief. You don't have to worry, anticipate. Now, I'm a worrier. Now, if you're just a procrastinator and you don't worry about it, that motivation will not apply. But I'll worry about it until I do it. So once I do it, and then it's always easier than I thought it was. And then I feel like I'm somebody. I have to remind myself every day, I'm not that, I got a big dose of imposter syndrome. You know, my life coach laughs at me. You know how some people. Anyway, I do want to show you something that I did though before I talk about what I did. The thing I did wrong after doing right things is I added an elevated portion to my built-in entertainment center. Now the thing I did wrong was I didn't measure this out right, and so now I got this thing here, a white space. So I'm gonna figure out something that's functional and that fits. And it's just like, oh, this whole thing I built because I wanted to cover up a mistake I made. So my mistakes lead to good things sometimes. Well, not all the time, but every once in a while you can screw around and like like minoxidil, when they used for your hair, that was for like high blood pressure. And then they realized that everybody was growing hair back. I remember when it happened too, when they first decided, because my father started growing hair on me. He was all excited about it. But anyway, so there you go with that. Now, what I did after, the wrong thing I did after that is I saw something was amiss. And in true Toller fashion, I began to compile every possible negative outcome that could be associated with what I realized that morning. I went down the road not only of this could have happened and this could have happened and this is what I'm going to have to do, and if he said I got to do this and that and the other thing, I had a headache. So what I did was, now usually when I do that, I work myself up. And then I call the person I'm upset with. And I try to walk slowly, like, where? But I was like, no, let's not do that today. Today, let's say, text this person, you good? 10 minutes later, this person called me back. Yeah, I am. Well, remember what I said? I said, well, yeah, I know, but, yeah, I know. And I said, yeah, I know, but I just, and you told me I could do that. I said, yeah, I do remember, but I don't know. I got caught in a thought about, I don't know, but I got caught in a thought and then I got mad at you. And I'm sorry about that. And he says, well, what you apologizing to me for? You ain't get mad at me. You just said, you good. So, no. That showed some growth on my part. I knew I was coming crooked. But I didn't realize what kind of crooked it was till I sat down and thought about it. And what I had done was violated Rule 20, which is the rebound emotions rule. And the rebound emotions rule says that rebound emotions are the things that hang around the house after everything has gone on around the house so often that you always know, or you believe you know how the circus is going to go. And that's what stands between us hearing exactly what somebody said and what you thought they said. It stands between hearing somebody today to show you what they did yesterday. Because if you anticipate all the problems you used to have with this person, when one thing was out of place, you're fighting an old problem with a new person because that person isn't that old problem anymore. So it's emotional background noise that keeps you hearing from what somebody's saying because you're so busy remembering what he used to say and do. Now, I'm going to just expose it a little bit. It was something with booming, 6 of 6. Everybody got a heart attack kid, a wild child. One like, oh my God, what has he done now? He's like, he and I live in the emergency room since he was like 2. You know, he never saw anything he couldn't jump off of. You know, he was so fun. And he's like, if you want to have a good time, he's your brother. He really is. And like when he was young, he just had, like his mother's, he didn't like have any breaks or boundaries. But my no breaks and boundaries has to do with like projects. I don't have any breaks and boundaries when I project. He didn't have any breaks or boundaries when it came to physical action. Oh, I can jump off of that kind of thing. And if he was home and you didn't know where he was, you sit there and wait quietly for a minute. And then eventually you hear something go boom. And that's where he is. It's called booming because he was breaking something, just that and the other thing. But he was that guy, and he was that guy all his life. And sweet as he can be, all night, never gets mad when you get upset. Well, yeah, I was wrong, Mom. I understand why you're mad at me. And one time, we were mad at him and one of his little friends. And his little friend was over. His parents were over, and I was over. And Eric was over, and we were mad at both of them. They were skipping school. I don't know what they were doing. And his buddy got mad at his mother and said something rude to her. And in the middle of us fussing at everybody, my son turned around to his friend and said, "Yo, can't talk that way to your moms." And I was hot as a firecracker right here, but my heart was filling up with. It's like that joke Aries tells with little Nate. Little Nate, my white friend. Please, little Nate, I want to eats and sleeps. Don't tell my parents. Or my son says, I don't care how much trouble you can't get mad at your parents because you're the one that did wrong, and you have to be. So I felt good about that. But anyway, and he had done everything he was supposed to. He handled everything. I just had a moment of history. A rebound emotion just popped in my head, and I let it work on me. Please don't let your rebound emotions work on you. Now, often rebound emotions are just all you got. Just everything is in everything, and you don't know what to do, and you don't want to apologize because you think he was wrong, and you don't want to apologize because you think she was wrong, and all this kind of stuff. So my next rule in the book after the rebound emotions is the turn signal requirement. Tell your spouse you're looking to change how things feel in the home. If you have a high volume household or some just raggedy stuff is going on and you don't like the kind of feel, everybody's kind of this and that, address it. And don't address it when you're mad, when you have a good day, you got some ice cream. I can't eat ice cream. I miss it so much too. I can't eat, any dairy. I had some with cream in it yesterday. Thought I was going to lose my mind, but anyway, y'all didn't need to know that. So what was I talking about? Oh, you got to put your turn signal on it. So when everybody's in a decent mood, everything's been good. He says, I really like it when we're like this. And when we get home, we get to fussing and hollering. I don't like that. And then, now, you're not going to fix everything. But maybe you can fix one thing. Like, I noticed you happen to blip, blip, that makes you mad. What if I did zupa, zupa, zupa instead of whip, wop, woppa? Would zupa, zupa, zupa make you feel better than whip, wop, woppa? And then he'll say yes or he'll say no, and then he should say. He said, well, you do ding, dang, ballywang. I was wondering, instead of ding, dang, ballywang, you could do ookamoo-doo. Bing, bang, ballywang, ookamoo-doo. Bing, bang, ballywang, ookamoo-doo. Name it anything. I don't know. And just start trading one after another. We're going to put on we're deciding we don't like how it is in here. So we're going to make it different. And then we congratulate each other. Oh, you didn't get excited. I guess I saw you were about to. Or yep, baby, you were on time. I'm loving that. You went on time, brother. You do all of that. And you fight like you on the street fighting for your rep and your respect. You fight for a good feeling in your home. We started doing that after about, I'm going to look this way so y'all can see that piece of hair just, and you address the atmosphere. And in so doing, you tickle out, this problem here, and this problem there, and this problem here, and this problem there. Makes things easier. So, from my violation of Rule 20 to an explanation of Rule 20 and Rule 21. And subscribe, like my son says, because I do appreciate it. And I do read your comments. Oh, I do read your comments. And one of them comments was, I spent a lot of money on this. And I do. I just bought these little buttons. And I bought bamboo. Because I'm going to do a bamboo panel on one of the walls. But the thing is, I do spend a lot of money on it. But This is like $3.95. You know, well, how much is this? $3.29. See what I'm saying? Now, you know, I don't go nowhere. Don't buy new clothes that aren't very expensive. I'm paying for, and you know, some people used to sell them or something. Like, no, I'm spending my money on my joy. I enjoy this. Now, it's not a purpose in life, and somebody else in the comments says, I didn't like when you said you didn't have a purpose. And not in a bad way, it's like I don't like that. I think you do have purpose. I think you do have purpose when you come here and help people. And I hope I do have purpose when I come here. But I need a purpose. I mean, you have to have a spiritual purpose, which I'm working on. You have to have, a familial, a life purpose, you know, that you work on. Like, I just don't feel I have that one. That, what am I looking to do? Not to just, I don't know. I can't figure that part out. Because it was so, me and Eric had plans for that. Now I'm just kind of, Now you know when I start to sing, I don't belong in here anymore. My apologies. Oh, and yesterday I posted late because it took hours for the checks to go through. I waited for hours, and then I finally said forget it, and I uploaded again, and then it only took the regular 20 minutes. So that wasn't my fault. I feel bad. There was someone in South Africa that said that it waited till in the middle of the morning to see it, and my apologies. I'm going to keep my hands out of my hair. If you have a question, go down here to the link tree and ask Judge Lynn. And I promise to do a better job of titling whatever lessons I might be able to share. Y'all have a good day.